or South North Shore Drive near Dunkin' Donuts. Online at crowncleaners.com. Crown Cleaners, a tradition of excellence.
Are you thinking of buying a home but don't know where to start? Well, call VFL Josh Travis, your local mortgage expert with Foundation Mortgage, based right here in Knoxville. Whether it's your first home or your forever home, he'll keep the process simple every step of the way. To get started, visit mortgagebrokerjosh.com or call 423-312-9777 today. Foundation Mortgage Company, LLC is an equal opportunity housing company. NMLS number 1387311.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio.
You found TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show. In just a few minutes, we'll be right with you with another award-winning, action-packed edition of your Tony Basilio Show.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio.
An utterly beautiful day to be alive and well with you. I'm telling you, it is a golden day here in East Tennessee, and just a wonderful day to be with you. Just extremely exciting. Anytime Tennessee and Alabama get together, I get a little extra geeked. It means a little more. I'm very glad they're going to keep this game on the card going forward. As Matt Dixon joins, hey, Matt, they talk about how this is going to be, something they're going to revisit every 4 years. They better not revisit this Tennessee-Alabama game. As Josh says, this is our birthright, Matt. This game is our birthright.
They're not going to. They're not going to.
That's just talk.
The SEC does a lot of things. They screw up a lot of things, but this is one that they're not going to make that self-inflicted mistake.
Yes. They better
Perfect
not.
day, not a cloud in the sky.
Oh, it's incredible. It is incredible, man.
Day.
Yeah.
Hopefully we have a beautiful Saturday night as well.
And we're planning a big, huge thing for the Oklahoma weekend down at Calhoun's. We're really excited about that. We're going to do the show, and then our band's going to play, and then Dubsy Smith's going to be there. And I'm jumping off today after the first couple hours. We're going to get down there today and plan that out with the Calhoun's folks. So we've got a lot of big things planned. But the Bama week is worth celebrating. I think it's just an awesome game. The league is full of really interesting games this week. Hey, Matt, John, who's on his way over, his LSU boys, you like gigging him? His LSU boys, Matt, they've you believe they're an underdog this week? How crazy the league is right now at Nashville. I mean, just the league is nuts, Matt. Things we never thought we would see.
Shows you the parity and how much improved Vanderbilt is.
Yep.
LSU struggles to score, so whenever you can't score, you're ripe for an upset.
And they looked like absolute dog dirt over the weekend offensively with South Carolina, struggling with that South Carolina bunch, Matt. Really unreal. So we've got a lot to get
that's
into.
just a team that's just not clicking offensively.
Yep.
Nussmeier's clearly hurt.
Yep.
And they don't have a whole lot around them. They have zero run game.
Yep.
So you can't be one-dimensional and be successful.
I wonder if they're
really, no matter how good your quarterback is.
I wonder, Matt, if they're eventually going to deal with firing their coach too. Because one would think that guy's going to run out of time down there. because he's not an endearing personality. He's not a very warm guy. I kind of called it when they first hired him. He's sort of a fish out of water there. I just wonder. I wonder if if they. Here's a crazy thing, right? If Vanderbilt gets LSU Saturday, and they just might. I mean, they're favored in the game. They just might get them. Vanderbilt and Tennessee, Matt, could be a playing game. Now, did you ever, and that's if Tennessee takes care of business. Did you ever, Matt, and I mean did any of us ever think when we were looking at the schedule earlier in the year, hey, that's Tennessee and Vanderbilt, okay, that's a play-in game for the playoffs. Would any of us have had that thought?
I've been joking with Cal Blackburn about that for a couple of weeks now, that could legitimately be a play-in game for the playoffs. I mean, it was last year for Tennessee, obviously.
Yeah.
But no, I think Vanderbilt could be. I mean, I don't think they'd be like 9-2, but they could be 8-3 at that point.
Yeah, and they come to Neyland Stadium and win, and all of a sudden, you again, we're going to get back to this. They come and win on your home field, and we're going to have this choice thing. How do we separate these teams at the end of the year? And good luck to the people that are going to do that, because these SEC teams lay one on top of the other, on top of the other, on top. From 11 to 2, there is negligible difference between these two teams. Now, we've seen a couple of the worst teams in the deal, but even at that, we've struggled with them. And the margin of victory in the league, it's not just us. The margin of victory in the league, as we put on the blog today, is sitting right there at the lowest it's been in the 2000s. It's a little over 10 points a game, which is like a 30% decrease over last year, which is one of the closer years that we've seen when these teams get on the field with each other. Point being, this is an SEC that's simply a week-to-week proposition. It's what it is. And we have to acknowledge that. Now, Matt, you went back and watched the film, and you unpacked it today on the blog. Needless to say, and Tony Sokolis is going to join us here coming up. We're going to get the Bama perspective, what the latest is on their 2 concussed players, what other nicks and bruises they have and concerns coming into this game. I don't want to be a simpleton, Matt, but we better be a little better defensively this week, yes? Or it's going to be big trouble on the road.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to clean up the third down stuff, just giving up easy yards. It's a different quarterback, obviously not as dynamic,
yep,
but still a good enough runner to make you pay when you have missed assignments or you don't understand, down and distance and you're not doing those things well.
Yeah.
You got to really coach your guys up. I do think kind of collectively we don't give Arkansas enough credit for how good they are offensively because they're not a serious team because their defense is so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not going to make winning plays when it matters to beat teams that can play.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a really, really good offense with a guy that's I think's got to be an NFL draft pick at quarterback and a great play caller. Say whatever you want about Petrino. He can ride a Harley, but he can call plays too.
I think that's really well put. And I guess the thing with Tennessee's defense, Matt, and the reason people reacted the way that they did is we've seen it before, If it was just a one-off thing this year. But you're right. I mean, the kid at quarterback is so special for them. And you made the point on our Garza-Law fifth quarter fan reaction, which, by the way, we'll be doing some Midnight Madness this week. But Matt made the point the other day that this kid gets outside, and he gets outside of our end, and there is nothing but green grass there for him. I mean, he's an incredibly nimble, gifted athlete. And I tell you what, if I was at the next level with his arm strength and the ability to look downfield, I'd take a chance on him. Now, Matt's right. They were always going to make the turnover. Just like Vanderbilt, when they played at Alabama, they were always going to make the turnover. Alabama should have lost that to Vanderbilt. And if you're an Arkansas fan today, you're saying, hey, we should have beaten Tennessee. I don't blame. And Tennessee should have beaten Georgia. But the thing all three of those games have in common is the team that was going to lose the game knew they were losing the game, which is still a very powerful thing, Matt, still a very powerful thing in the sport of college football. The team that knows it's going to lose is pretty much going to lose. That's why what Indiana did to Oregon is just such an incredible thing. That's a team that hadn't won a game like that since 1964. You know how much history that is to take into a football game? I mean, that's incredible, Matt.
More impressive, one of the most impressive wins of the season, easily. Absolutely. And unlike Indiana, a lot of these games, it's really not who wins it; it's which team winds up, losing it themselves.
Yep.
And these really good teams, it's kind of a skill that they have, and I think it's coached into them. Let the other team beat themselves, especially in this, roster turnover era where there's so much more just uncertainty, and you just don't get clean football games. Teams are going to lose games a whole lot more than they're going to win them. And you've got to and that's one of the things Fulmer was really good at. I mean, he would just kind of do what he needed to do and let the other team make that critical mistake at a time, and his team would win. And that's a skill that we probably don't value enough. But in this era, if you cannot beat yourself, you're going to win a lot more games than you lose.
And that's what Josh Heupel's teams have been it's why they win. That's why this guy's a high floor coach. Generally, his team is not going to make that mistake that beats themselves. And look at what they've done to their quarterback this year. They took a guy who many people said was a human turnover, was going to end up costing the Vols, was going to be a liability at quarterback, and they've turned him into a guy that's been extremely cautious with the ball. Now, look, he's had his turnovers. Everybody's going to. Everybody turns the ball over. But for the most part, he's played within himself. He hasn't tried to do too much. And Tennessee's emerged victorious. Boy, this game's a golden opportunity. Tony Sokolo's going to join us. He covers Bama. We'll get his thoughts. Kevin Skarbinski's going to join us tomorrow, by the way, along with Watson Brown and Cinco. But coming up, John Adams will be in the house, presented by Jennifer Morris. Next move, SmokyMountains.com. The league, simply, in my time of being here, 30-plus years of being on the air every day, I never thought we'd see an SEC that looks like this. It is it's sheer madness is what it is. The league right now is just sheer madness. And it is so much fun. So much fun. The point I was making is Arkansas fans look at the Tennessee game and they're going to say, hey, we should have beaten them if we don't turn the ball over. They were always, to Matt's point, they were always going to turn the ball over. Tennessee was always going to get the ball out of their hands. That's just what our defense does this year. Mississippi State, I don't know. Tennessee should have beaten Georgia. But the Georgia fans will look at us and say, you know what? The Vols are afraid to beat us. They miss a short field goal. They kind of don't manage things well at the end. This Alabama thing's got to end sooner or later. I've got 5 reasons why in the blog today. Why Tennessee should feel like they got a puncher's chance. I'll tell you one of them. Ty Simpson's from this state. Ty Simpson grew up in the specter of Tennessee football, the power of that, the majesty of that. He going to try a little harder this weekend. Hey, we're all human. But I will say one thing Matt said about Ty Simpson that bears repeating this week as we go along, now that we're going to bear down on this game. Don't make the mistake of thinking he's a white turkey quarterback. Yes or no, Matt? Because the kid's not a white turkey. The guy can make plays.
Oh yeah, he's very good. He fits their offense really, really well. I mean, he'll pick up yards on the ground. Now, he gets sacked a lot. Their pass protection's not very good, but I mean, I think he's got like a number of 20-yard runs this year. So it's not like, and, given the way we can lose contain, that's obviously concerning. But more than anything, he's a really, really good decision maker and knows where his guys are at, knows where the defense is at. I think he has total command and trust of his coaching staff, which is pretty impressive.
Tony Sakala is going to join us. I think Tennessee's got a shot to win this game. Look, it's a game you looked at early in the season and you put loss next to it, if you're being honest about it. We haven't won down there in 20 years. We have invented ways to lose there. We had a couple score lead last time we played there and kind of gave it up, and it got away, and it's just a nutty series. And we're winning on our home field these days, which, hey, I'll take that. But it sure be nice to get one this weekend. Just an unexpected win. It would do for Tennessee what it did for Indiana, which is you win one of those games on the road, a tough game on the road, and all of a sudden you're just seen in a different light. And you know what? You should be. We come back. Tony Sakalis joins us. He covers Bama. John Adams will be here as well. We continue with more on your Tuesday edition. TGMD takes the floor over at tclub.team. A terrific write-up from Matt on what he saw in the Arkansas game. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And there were certainly things worth celebrating. There was a little bad, and there were a few ugly things. But the Vols are very much in the mix and in the hunt as we continue with more on the other side. Shout out to Trent Dilfer. That man tried his best. As he gets let go today, the assault on our kicker will never be forgotten by the living fan. Talk about things. Hey, Matt, that play last night in the Dodgers game, something I don't think I've ever seen out in the outfield. I don't think any of us have ever seen that. A double play of that sort. And Trent Dilfer's guy going out there and assaulting our kicker in the middle of nowhere. Matt, I think that's another thing we've never seen. So, why we watch sports,
Yeah.
Matt.
That Dilfer. I mean, give Dilfer credit. He at least suspended the kid the next week.
He did.
So, but I think there's a reason Dilfer was taking all those selfies before the game and kneeling, because he knew this was coming as well.
He ain't no dummy. Boy, I hope they leave my buddy Mark Ingram alone. We're going to take a brief timeout and continue with more on the other side. It is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, chillins of all ages, your Tuesday edition. John Adams joins the fray. Tony Sakalis as well. Let's bring it on back on a Tuesday, shall we, after this?
You searching for a great local coffee? I'm Billy with Grade A Grounds. You can buy our freshly roasted coffee online and support a good cause with every sip. Great coffee, greater causes. Visit our website today, gradeagrounds.com.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gufon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gufon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gufon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gufon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gufon.com. That's Gufon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gufon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Fall has officially arrived, so now is the perfect time to make sure your home's heating and HVAC system is ready for the season ahead. Don't ignore the warning signs that your heating or cooling system is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need fast, reliable HVAC repairs, seasonal preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new high-efficiency system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Whatever HVAC problems you encounter, our certified technicians will make a full assessment and then provide the best long-term solution to keep your home comfortable again all year long. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Tony B back with you as we're back with you on Tuesday. John Adams came in here ready for bear. I mean, he's fired up, focused, and prepared today. He and Matt have been breaking it down scientifically. John, you're pretty pumped today. It's good to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's a pretty day outside.
Oh, it's beautiful, man. Presented by Jennifer Morris, Next Move, SmokyMountains.com. All right, without further ado, Tony Sukalis answering the bell. He's on your TLD Logistics hotline. Tony, it's always good to interface with you. You've got a split beat. You cover UAB and you also cover Alabama. as well for an outlet there. So you're doing your thing, and we appreciate you jumping in with us. But not a lot going on in your world these days with the coaching change at UAB and now Tennessee and Alabama in the front burner here.
I'll tell you what, it's a busy week, and I've got to be the only caller to preview two different Tennessee matchups, right?
I mean, come on, Tone. Come on, Tone. It's never happened in the history. In my 30 years of doing this, it's never happened. But do you think the Tide will have a guy assault our field goal kicker? Is that, or do you think that was just a one-off deal?
No, I think that was a UA. You know, if that happens, though, that'd be a crazy full circle moment for me. But no, I don't know. I don't expect there to be a situation where the field goal kicker gets stomped on again. Hopefully not for his sake. You know, I mean, as a field goal kicker, it's pretty important that you protect your feet like that. So for his sake, I hope he avoids that. I don't foresee that happening for sure.
You know, T, when somebody's out there stomping on your feet, I mean, I play a little music, you know, in my free time with my friends, and we played a bunch over the weekend, and I can't imagine somebody stepping on my hands. I can barely play as it is. John, what do you think was going through that kid's mind when that big old lineman just stepped right on his foot, John Adams? What do you make of that? Have you ever seen that in a game?
Whose mind are you talking about? The kicker or the guy that did the stomping?
Oh, the kicker. This big old human beings.
Probably he was probably traumatized. Those guys aren't used to getting hit, and then all of a sudden he's got this humongous dude saying, "I'm going to crush your foot. What are you going to do about it?"
The Alabama.
It was Therod Bryant, the safety that did it for UAB.
Okay.
So he's a little bit leaner than a lineman. That being said, you know, I'm sure he'd rather be stomped on than hit by Therod Bryant. Therod Bryant's probably the hardest hitter on UAB. And he's not afraid to mix it up, and so you know, for his sake, I think he got the better end of it getting stomped on actually than maybe getting a cheap hit or something.
I'd look that kid up in the portal at the end of the year, and that's the problem with the whole UAB thing is you get picked apart. But we're not here to talk about UAB, but I hope my buddy Mark Ingram is safe down there. Who knows? Now we move along here as Tony Tsoukalos joins. We're talking about the Crimson Tide. John made the point, hey, this is 4 consecutive games against ranked teams now for the Tide. They're in the middle of a brutal stretch. Could that help Tennessee in this game, the wear and tear of Alabama playing in this league?
I think so. I mean, it's got to, right? It's been two kind of, you know, emotionally taxing games too. I mean, obviously you had the Diego Pavia redemption game, and then just this Missouri game too, with all the fourth downs they faced and the tense moments. I mean, those not only physically taxing, but mentally taxing as well. And now you head into a rivalry game. I would say that the only thing that, you know, I would put in Alabama's favor is, or maybe not even in Alabama's favor, but it is a rivalry game, so the adrenaline and the getting pumped up for this game, you know, won't be hard. You know, and especially since they're avenging another loss. Maybe the one I might circle would be the trip to South Carolina next week, where it's like now you play all these teams in a row. You know, is that going to be the week where you finally fall apart?
Yeah, Tony. There's I do a SEC newsletter for USA Today, our network, and I had Ty Simpson, and I was ranking my quarterbacks this week, SEC quarterbacks. How different the ranking is now compared to what it was in preseason. When you go into preseason, you're talking about Lenora Sellers, DJ Lagway, Garrett Nussmeier, and of course Arch Manning. And I had Ty Simpson ranked number 1. I've been so impressed with everything about him, the way he's played, led, passed. So just what's been your impression of watching him and dealing with him, and what a true star he's become in this league?
Yeah, I'm a Patriots fan too. My dad's from Boston, and you know, I'm seeing a lot of the same things I'm seeing with Drake May. With Ty Simpson, with his ability to, you know, avoid turnovers, make plays under pressure. You know, that fourth down where he bootlegged to the right and flipped the ball to the running back. I mean, he also had that one, beautiful fourth down pass to extend the scoring drive on like 4th and 8. He's clutch, and he's making good decisions, and he's doing everything you want from a quarterback. I think that, I'm really encouraged with what I've seen from him, both from a skill standpoint and from a mental aspect.
To him and Ty Simpson being a quarterback, and Jalen Milroe, who obviously was a great athlete, but just the difference.
Yeah, I think some of that, the passing ability is a lot better with Ty Simpson than it was with Jalen Milroe. Obviously, the playmaking ability is better for Jalen, but I think you're seeing Ty have the ability to get the ball out more to the players, and that's key. Alabama's got a ton of weapons in the receiving corps. I think you got to be able to find a guy that can find all those guys, and it's not just Ryan Williams, and it's not just Jeremy Bernard. They've got guys, Latier Brooks, Isaiah Horton, and you need a guy that's going to be able to see the field well enough to spot all of that and to be able to make those decisions. And Ty Simpson is somebody that can do that.
You brought up Ryan Williams' name. I mean, I'm expecting to see him like on the side of a milk carton. What has happened to him? What's going on?
He's dealing with a concussion. Or he was, and so that's been tough. He's also had, there's a lot of pressure on him, I would imagine, just with, being on the cover of the video game and just for doing so well last season as a freshman. I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but, he's had some drops, and that's been well documented. And I think some of that's, he's still a young player. I don't want to play the whole, he's only 18 years old, because we had all of that last year.
Yeah.
But he, I think that a lot of that is just there's growing pains that come along with it. I think when you've seen him, he's been able to make really big plays when it matters.
Yep.
But he has had he's not been consistent enough this season, and whether that's through maybe injury or stress or just a little bit of a lack of focus, probably all of the above, right? But when you look at him, Alabama's going to need him to be a lot more consistent. But I wouldn't necessarily be worried about him just because. I think it's all there for him, obviously.
TGMD, I throw to you now, the great Matt Dixon, who breaks down Tennessee's win over Arkansas over at tclub.team today. Check it out. Make tclub.team a part of your daily festivities. Go ahead, Matt Dixon. You're on with Tony Tsoukalas, who's an all-around good guy, joining us. He's double-dipping this year, as he's double-dipped all year. He covers UAB and Alabama concurrently. Go ahead. Jump in here for us, Matt Dixon.
Yeah, the crazy thing about Ryan Williams and it's kind of just disappearing is they have two other guys who are legitimately, maybe not as the upside, but are really, really good. So they've been able to withstand that. But is there any update on Jam Miller, who missed, I think it was the first 3 games, and then took a brutal hit, looked like a concussion. I mean, he might have even been knocked out along with that other, the backup receiver earlier in the game. Is there any update on him? Because it seems like it'd be a surprise.
He's in concussion protocol, and that will be a big loss for Alabama. Look, Alabama hasn't been able to move the ball on the ground with consistency at all. Jam Miller is the best running back they have. So that could be, you look at things for Tennessee, that could be a big loss for Alabama if he's unable to go. It's tough to tell with the concussion stuff, right? You never know. They got to pass the test. I'm sure if it's up to Jam, he'd play, but he's got to get cleared by team doctors and stuff before he can play. Alabama has other options. Kevin Riley's one of them. Daniel Hill is a big back, kind of like Derrick Henry sized almost back, and he's the one that caught the touchdown on 4th and 1 for Alabama's final touchdown. So they've got some intriguing options. Obviously Richard Young as well. But you're going to want Jam to go, and not only are you going to want Jam to go, you're going to need him to be, at full strength, because I think the ground game on both sides of the ball, I think, is concerning for Alabama heading into this one.
Hey, T, why? Yeah, that is interesting, right? Why, absent of Jam Miller, has it been so difficult for Bama to consistently run the ball? In the stretch where he missed, their running game essentially disappears. Why is it so dependent on one guy?
I don't know. There's not a lot of experience there with the other backs. So, maybe you point to that. I jokingly say this, but I say this a little bit tongue in cheek, but maybe they're just not used to getting that many carries with Jalen as the quarterback. 'Cause he ate up so many of those.
Yeah.
I say that jokingly though. I don't know. I think some of it probably has to do with the line. There's been some inconsistency on the line. I think it hasn't been as bad, but it's not like they have, a foolproof offensive line. And I think when you have a guy like Ty Simpson who can kind of make plays happen, or extend plays, and he does so well of recognizing the field, I think sometimes it kind of takes away from those struggles in the passing game, and then you see him more in the running game. But I think that when you look at it, I'd have to pin it down on just maybe inconsistency and running backs that haven't done it before. I think that's why it's better when Jam's in there, is because he's done it before.
John Adams, presented by Jennifer Morris, Next Move, SmokyMountains.com. Jump in with Tony Tsoukalis, who joins us on our TLD Logistics phone line.
Tony, one of the most surprising things to me about a very surprising opener for Alabama, I was kind of stunned at the way Florida State handled Alabama in preseason. One of the preseason magazines, Lindy's or Athlon, what those rankings that we see every preseason where it ranked position groups, and Alabama's offensive line was ranked number 1 in the country, not just the SEC. In that game, Alabama's offense just didn't get it done. So what's going on there? It's supposed to have all these pro prospects in there, and I just haven't seen that a dominant offensive line like some of the offensive lines we've seen for Bama in the past that have truly been dominant. But this one is anything but that.
And the weird thing, John, before you answer, the weird thing, Ton, from my perspective is, and I want you to elaborate on this, they've had trouble pass blocking at times, which is one of the things that kind of gives me hope for the Vols this weekend. But go ahead, T.
Yeah, I was always apprehensive of those early rankings on the offensive line. Look, you had a guy that in Caden Proctor, who everyone was saying was a top 5 pick because of his size and talent, but he's been inconsistent, throughout his career. You're starting to see it get a little bit better for him lately, and it's kind of fun too now, where he's kind of putting packages where he actually gets the ball in his hands. But from a pure blocking standpoint, he's getting better, but he hasn't been the top 5 pick by any means. For Alabama. And then you look at the other side, they were always just counting on Wilkin Formby, a guy who struggled in spot starting duty last year, to just find his footing and excel. And he hasn't done that. You were counting on, Jaden Roberts, who was heavily injured last year, to come in and play up to his potential. He hasn't done that. So you kind of got a bunch of guys. Cam Dewberry's been solid. Gino Vandermark's been solid at those 2 guard positions. You got Michael Carroll now looking like, the 5-star true freshman tackle. He's looking like he's playing his way into the offense, maybe at Formby's expense, and maybe you move Formby to guard, something like that. But it's a little bit of an experience, experimenting with this unit, and I just think that it was a little bit overhyped from the start. I think there's so much potential. And that goes to your pass blocking and the run blocking element. But there's so much potential with this offensive line that I think you get lost in what it could be, and then you forget about what it is right now. And I think you're just going to need, I keep on saying this, but more consistency. And until Alabama kind of figures out that front 5, because they shuffle a lot, then I think that there could be some problems. I think you almost pretty soon find the 5 guys you want to roll with, and then get them settled. And then I think if you, depending on how well you find those, or evaluate those 5 guys, I think that, you might start to see things improve drastically. But it's still a little bit of a work in progress. It's concerning, and especially concerning this week against Tennessee. From the long term, I kind of bet on Alabama to figure it out.
I would agree with that. I would buy their line in the long term. Too much material there. Let's bring TGMD back in the mix and in the hunt. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I've got kind of an off-the-field one, more about the Alabama fan base, but this is so much parity in the sport now. You even see it with Georgia, how every game's a grind. How have Alabama fans adapted to this new era where in the post Saban era, they could actually lose games. Like these last 3 games, were games they could have lost. Whereas in the past, they had 11 or 12 wins already built into their schedule. How are Alabama fans approaching this new era where they have a vulnerable team?
I think you can ask that question to any team in college football. It is so weird. It's never been more parity in college football. I think in the last few years, or even really go back a couple of years, it's always been 3 or 4 teams that you knew that those teams were going to win the title. This year, I mean, you could look at the top 10, and I think any of those teams could win the title. Not only that, I don't even think they necessarily have to get lucky or anything. Like any of those top 10 teams, I think could beat any of the other top 10 teams on any given Saturday. I'm not just saying that as, oh, it's football, you got to respect your opponents. I'm saying, like, I don't think there's that much of a separation between anybody in the elite tier. In fact, I don't even know if there's like what I would call a normally elite college football team this year.
I
think you can make the argument that Alabama is the best team in college football right now. Like the team that nobody would want to face has the best resume. And then I think you could also make a very compelling argument that they'd lose to Tennessee, who you wouldn't put right now, at least, in the top 10. So I think that it's just so crazy, just the parity. I mean, look, we saw Indiana beat Oregon. I mean, I don't really like Ohio State's schedule, but, they're not unbeatable. They didn't set the world on fire, against Texas. And Texas is very beatable. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think anybody's unbeatable. I think it's just something that Alabama fans are going to have to get used to. Like, you could lose every week. I mean, they could lose Tennessee, they could lose at South Carolina. I mean, really, like, if you look down the schedule, there's a lot of teams that can beat this Alabama team. I don't think they're going to, but you got to take more of an NFL mindset to things than just penciling wins like you used to be able to at the college level.
The funny thing is Tony Sakalas joins us and he covers the Tide, and I'll let him give out his coordinates here momentarily. But John, you as a columnist, we've had this discussion, right? It's like it's jarring right now for college fans, like Tennessee, for instance. They're used to, our fan base is used to seeing us get that 3-score lead over Arkansas, pedal to the metal and blow them out. We're in a league right now where the average margin of victory where these teams get on the field is 10 point something. That's the lowest it's been in eons. Like, there is these teams, and power rating wise, to Tony's point, LSU is an underdog this week, an underdog to Vanderbilt. I mean, like, in what world? But the truth is, these teams they're negligible. I would think all these fan bases, ours included, and we haven't been winning at a tremendously huge clip, but we have people really mad after the Arkansas game. It feels like all fans are going to have to readjust to this new, because it's a totally different sport now.
Well, I think the biggest adjustment has to be made at Alabama, at Georgia, and at LSU. Those are teams that have won national championships.
Yeah.
Since going back to 2019 when LSU had that unbeaten team, then Bama follows in 20, then Georgia goes back to back. We're not living in that world anymore. And I wonder, though, Alabama fans follow football pretty closely. And whereas some of them might have a real problem adjusting to it, I think others should be savvy enough to know, I think Kalen DeBoer is a good coach. I thought it was a good hire when Alabama hired him. You look at his track record. I think Kalen DeBoer, when you start breaking down what Alabama has right now, not what it had under Nick Saban, this team is less talented than the large majority of Nick Saban teams. Yet Kalen DeBoer has won 3 straight games against nationally ranked teams.
And they don't appreciate that.
But they should.
I know, but they don't. And that is a good point. That is a good point. Like, that Missouri team they played last weekend is much better, to Matt's point, which is a point Matt's making. I know those people in Tide Nation are pissed because that was a close game. That was going to be a close game. One team was going to win a close game in that deal.
Yeah.
This is what the models are telling us. Tony, the thing that's so jarring about college football right now, and I was reminded of this yesterday, well, there's two examples, right? So Florida State goes out and they kind of walk the dog on Bama in the first week. That coach is going to get fired at the end of the year at Florida State. That's what's getting ready to happen to him. That's what the whispers are. That job's going to open. Who would have thought that at the end of the year? And when Penn State scores twice and gets to overtime with Oregon, and these are two unbeaten teams, and that's the NBC game, whatever network that thing's on, all of a sudden the ball's laying on the ground. A Penn State defender in overtime has the ball squirt through his hands. If they get on that ball, they're unbeaten, and they're number 2 in the country today or something like that. And instead, their coach is fired. This thing is such a razor's edge deal right now, T.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do. You mentioned this isn't as strong of a Nick Saban team. I don't think anybody has a Nick Saban team anymore because your depth gets picked over. You know what I mean? If you lose somebody, like you talked about Jam Miller, part of the reason why, why is Alabama struggling when he's out? Because they don't have Justice Haynes, or they don't have a back that's done it before. And It's not just him; it's the other positions, and it's you can go across any team. When you lose somebody, it stings a lot more because the depth isn't there. Because the transfer portal, you get more players on good teams instead of just the top 4 or 5 kind of hogging them all. So you're going to see some of these close calls, and you're going to see. I think really until we get used to the way college football is right now and the climate of it, I think you're going to see some overreacting when it comes to coaching, and people making those rash decisions. Not saying that Penn State was wrong, but you're going to see some of those extreme examples of those decisions because people aren't used to that. They're not used to teams losing games that they wouldn't have lost before.
Tony, what I really wonder about with Alabama, not the coaching, I wonder about its NIL, how solid its NIL program is right now, because Ohio State comes and takes maybe the best player off Alabama's team, Caleb Downs, and wins the national championship with him. Michigan takes Alabama's best running back, and he's playing really well with Michigan. I think he got injured last week. But for Alabama to lose those kind of players to other big-time programs, it really makes me wonder, is Alabama coming up short in NIL money?
I don't think Alabama is like at the Uber Ohio State, Texas schools level of richness, but I don't think that they're hurting at all. I mean, look, Alabama's playing number 1 class. That those don't come cheap. The high school players aren't free. You know what I'm saying? Alabama's been able to bring in some transfers, not at the level of other schools, but it's not like they're not doing anything. I think Alabama's just in that maybe A- B tier of the NIL, structure instead of that A+ tier. So yeah, I mean they do run the risk of the uber rich ceiling, but I think at the very least, right, you would call Alabama upper middle class, but I think you still call them rich. I just don't think you call them filthy rich.
AT, give out the coordinates, and are there any other players besides the 2 banged up in terms of the concussion issues? Go ahead.
Nobody that I think is going to be super on Tennessee's radar. I think the 2 you got to look at is Ryan Williams and Jam Miller. There's Jalen Mbakwe. He's a 5-star player, but he's a receiver that kind of hasn't done anything.
Okay.
He's on the injury report. And then there's Jalen Hale, who's after that knee injury last season, he just hasn't been the same. So I mean, yes, they're on the injury report. They might be a little bit thin at receiver, especially if Ryan goes down. But I don't necessarily think that those other 2 names are somebody that from Tennessee I'm circling as this could be a difference maker in the game.
Give out the coordinates where folks can find you, and thank you, Tone.
I would assume the majority of your listeners want to follow my Alabama's coverage or any of that. So that's on Touchdown Alabama. If you have any followers that are interested in UAB or their coaching search with Trent Dilfer, or maybe former Tennessee alum Mark Ingram and his job security as UAB's athletic director, you can follow me at AL.com. My Twitter is at Tony_Sukalis. That's on X. But yeah, you can follow me on any of those spots. I'm at a few places these days.
Thank you, my brother. Great talking to you.
Good talking to y'all as well.
On your TLD Logistics hotline, Hey, Matt, you asked a great question. John asked a great question. Matt's question is really great because Saturday, and I'm on here just taking calls, and I'm a little raw myself, Saturday. But you win a game in the league, and the first thing that's got to come out of your mouth is it's great to win a game in the league, and then you start to criticize the game you just watched. It's the nature of what we do. This is what you did well, this is what you didn't do well, and some people just want sunshine pumped at them, and I can't believe it. And some people just want to find the negative in everything. We got to try to ferret out both.
Well, you got to balance that.
I know, but the reality in our league right now, Matt, is that we're used to a couple years ago getting a 17-point lead and then beating that team by 35, because that's what would have happened. It's not happening anywhere in the league right now, guys. It's just not. If you watch these results, and the deeper we get in the season, the closer these games are getting, Matt. It's a great question you bring up, because the Tide are no longer like war chest strong, Matt. That's just not who they are anymore. They have a pretty good team, and we have a pretty good team.
Yeah, and it's Alabama more than anybody else that's come back to reality. I mean, they lived in the Saban era where they were just a Death Star, and Tennessee had literally no chance to beat them until the very end of Saban's tenure. And most teams felt that way when they played Alabama, but now they're vulnerable. They lost that game at Vandy last year, was like just the eye-opening shocker. Losing that Florida State game to start this year, even though that's a fluke loss. Like Nick Saban's teams don't lose either of those games, and like they're vulnerable. They could have lost to Vandy, again this year. That was a big win for them.
Yeah.
They could have easily lost at Missouri. It was like a 3-point line. They could lose this, but like they're vulnerable. And I would, he didn't really answer it because maybe he just doesn't know that fan base, but I don't know how that fan base takes this, because they played 2 games a year and they were all in the postseason, and now they can lose 3 or 4 games in the regular season every year now.
Especially going to a 9-game SEC schedule, Matt. And when you think about it, now Tony, our contributor, Tony, it's hard to say how strong somebody is NIL wise, and he says he thinks Alabama's not uber rich, but it's still rich. I don't think Alabama is as in good of a shape, and I think this is what should be alarming to Alabama fans.
Good.
Not whether Kalen DeBoer is as good as Nick Saban. I think Kalen DeBoer is a really good coach, but I don't think Alabama has the money power that other programs in this league does. Texas A&M. Not that this always will prevail, but in the long term, it's going to be a huge factor. I don't think it has the NIL resources that Tennessee does right now.
Well, they're a great study, John, and here's why. They're choosing to put a lot of their money in high school recruiting because they're way up there. And listen, you got to keep guys on your roster on your football team. Nick Saban never would have let Caleb Downs walk off his team. He never would have let the Proctor kid walk off his team. See what we forget is the Proctor kid went to Iowa for a spring.
But here, Tony,
and you're right. The Michigan running back, I totally forgot about that. You got Big Ten teams picking apart Alabama's roster.
Well,
that just shows you the money that Ohio State and Michigan have, and that's why these teams are going to be players going forward.
But I also think, and you know what?
Yeah,
Texas Tech could take a player off Alabama's roster.
Sure, they could.
And
they're all for sale.
And so could some SEC teams.
So could we.
I don't know if there's how much reluctance that is, or if this even factors into it.
Yeah.
Within the conference. I don't think there's any such thing as a gentleman's agreement. I think if Oklahoma can get Texas's star running back, or if Texas can get Alabama's star safety, whatever. Doesn't matter if it's in the league, it's going to get them because it's like taking a coach away. But I think it's going to become a factor, and I think Auburn has more. It has a couple of people that can contribute more to NIL than anybody Alabama has.
Well, that's why the Auburn job's going to open, because they've given that guy a really, really, really – listen, they're really talented. That Auburn team, Matt, for them to choose that quarterback, you and I are watching that game Saturday night. Matt goes, what a great call. Guy's wide open in the middle of the field. Wide open in the middle. Alabama's or Auburn's quarterback, Matt, they just chose the wrong guy.
What if they'd have gotten John Mateer?
It's the second time Freeze has done that. He got that Peyton Thorne guy.
Yeah.
That, 2 years ago, he just misevaluated the quarterbacks, and that's going to cost him his job.
It's going to cost him his job.
They almost have gotten around that. I mean, they, close at Oklahoma, close at A&M.
Yes.
Obviously, the Georgia game was really. I mean, that you couldn't ask for a better first half, and no, it's true. When you don't have a quarterback, you're not going to win, even in this, especially this parity era.
It's such a great game right now. It's just crazy how fun this is.
But see, it all ties in together. NIL, transfer portal, and getting rid of coaches. If you're invested all your money in this program, as a booster, as Cody Campbell is at Texas Tech, as Todd Graves at LSU, all these people that are billionaires invest in that kind of money, then you want to see results. And if you don't believe that coach can get you a championship, then you say, well, I'm not giving any more money to that program.
It's so fickle and so stupid, and these guys have way too much power, but they've given in to them. They've always given in to them. And as I reminded, Johnny Majors got fired after he lost 3 straight games, just like James Franklin got fired in season when he lost 3 straight games.
That's a good example.
And you know what? The more things change, the more they stay the same. Because back then, you wouldn't have said we're giving in to all this money, and it wasn't a tremendously – like he was only making like $350,000 or $400,000, and he was fired, something like that. And the deal is the boosters in that sport have always, and I mean always had. Go back and watch the movie about Texas Western, now UTEP, about the impact of boosters. It's always been there. As we continue with more on the other side right after this.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted grade A grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the volunteer state by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof. T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka, and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. Basilio here. No one does it like Alumni Hall. I'm here to tell you, living Vol fan, only one place. That's the best place to shop for Tennessee gear, and that's Alumni Hall. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands like Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. Load up on hats, accessories, Yeti, all your tailgating necessities. Download the Alumni Hall app, click and count, and it'll tell you how much Hall cash you've earned. You earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Alumni Hall, with physical locations in Murfreesboro, Bristol, and 3 locations in Knoxville, now open in Johnson City. Pop into Alumni Hall and get ready and tell them Tony B sent you. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold wave filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our Gold Bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama's Easy approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio.
TB back with you. So many ways to consume what we're doing. Check out our YouTube channel, Tony Basilio Show over on YouTube. And if you're over there, please like and subscribe. It's very important to hit the like button. That throws us into the algorithm and makes others or helps others find it. So thank you for hitting the like button. Please do that as you will. On a day where I just marvel at the craziness of major college football, Matt broke down the Arkansas game. John, you and Matt were talking off the air. The one concern as a Tennessee fan you have to have is Ty Simpson's ability to spin the middle of the field open and to spin our safeties around, Matt, and make them look like they're playing electric football. Because at times Saturday, we look like we were playing. And granted, Arkansas's got a really talented offense. They can do that to a lot of people. But they made us look like we were playing electric football Saturday, Matt. That's my one big concern in this game, and it's a huge concern.
Well, yeah, that's obviously the biggest concern of. I think there's more than one. But no, he could. The middle of the field is where Ty Simpson's really, really good there, and that's where Tennessee just really can't cover anybody. Hadn't since the Syracuse game, and we've talked about our safety play and how it's just kind of below average. Our linebackers in coverage and in space just is not very good. So yeah, that's the biggest concern is his ability to. He's even good at manipulating, and manipulating with his eyes, the DBs, and I'm not even sure he'd have to do that against Tennessee.
Matt, that's the virtues you're mentioning that Ty Simpson has. That's now what I want in a college quarterback. I really have gotten away from the super arm and the super athlete, those kind of things. A guy that can see the field, make accurate throws, and like you're talking about, just that's adept at the nuances of the quarterback position. And you see that with him. Taylor Green is a tremendous athlete, a very deceptive runner because of all those long strides he takes, and Tennessee took bad angles against him. But this guy Simpson, Green isn't as good as Simpson at spotting things on the field and seeing these weaknesses and exploiting them. You go back. Let's go back to the Syracuse game. Unfortunately for Syracuse, its quarterback Steve Angeli got hurt. Is out for the year, torn Achilles. But he was doing the very thing that Ty Simpson is adept at: seeing the field, finding the open receiver, and being accurate and get rid of the ball in a hurry. Plus, Simpson is more athletic, so he's the best quarterback Tennessee's faced. And Gunnar Stockton had a career day against Tennessee. Steve Angeli had a career day against Tennessee. Blake Shapen of Mississippi State played pretty well against Tennessee, and Taylor Green had a really good day. There's no reason going into this game that you should think Ty Simpson's going to have a bad day.
Oh, no, they're going to score some points, and you just hope you don't have too many busts, so to speak, and you keep everything in front of you. That's the modern game. Hey, Matt, what other concerns do you have about Saturday before we go to the phones? Throw me a couple more out there. You talk about Ty Simpson moving our DBs around and just kind of creating havoc with his eyes, and he's just a veteran guy. He just feels what he's doing. I mean, he's just sort of in the pocket back there, and then when he gets off platform, he can do it as well. He can make plays with his feet, but he can also keep his eyes downfield
He's not afraid to take a hit, letting a ball go. He's really blown me away. I knew he'd be okay. I didn't know he would be this good. I don't think any of us knew he'd be this good. He's a really good story if you stop and think about it. Like Bino said, he's a guy that sat there for 3 years. There was no reason to think that he was this kind of player. But what else, Matt? What else concerns you?
Well, I mean, you're going on the road, how you handle all that. Now, granted, you've actually played really well in Tuscaloosa in the first half under Heupel both games. You've been able to match the moment, which was impressive. Before I guess just collapsed in the second half. But you got to be able to handle the moment. You got to be able to all the penalties and all that. It's a night game. They'll have a lot of the lights going. A lot of the noise, how we handle the moment with all the penalties, the pre-snap stuff, the communication. I think that can be a big issue for us. But I mean the passing game from Alabama with their receivers and Ty Simpson's the biggest issue. Tennessee's got to be able to run the ball and lean on the run game and be balanced. Alabama can win being kind of one-dimensional with the passing game. Tennessee has to be balanced and has to be able to run the ball. And that's kind of Bama's weakness defensively is stopping the run. They don't do great against mobile quarterbacks, so maybe we'll see Aguilar have a bigger game than usual. You might need it.
John?
Yeah, I think those are all legitimate concerns. But again, the passing game of Alabama's, and I mean, I don't look at Alabama as a great team. I look at it as a team that's had some great achievements by winning these close games.
Yep.
But I can't just dismiss what happened against Florida State. Its offensive line is not that great. To me, the strangest thing about Alabama is going into the season, you think it's going to be better defensively, and it is better defensively, not hugely so. It's good. You think it's going to be good in the offensive line and maybe be able to run the ball better and all that kind of stuff. And you wonder about its quarterback. But the script has been flipped. And so now it's really all about the quarterback. This quarterback is saving Alabama because it's got other shortcomings. And if he doesn't have this kind of year, if it's got just a pretty good quarterback there or an average quarterback, it's in big trouble. It would have been winning all these games the past few weeks. So that's Tennessee's main concern. I'm a little surprised at the betting line on this, though, Matt. The last one I saw, I think Alabama was a 9.5-point favorite.
Yeah.
That's too many points, I think.
In this league this year it is. In this league it is.
Well,
we
go back to last week. I mean, what was Tennessee? A 12.5-point favorite?
Yes,
Arkansas?
yes, they were.
And see, I thought that was a steal. I really thought Tennessee. We talked about this.
Oh yeah.
I thought Tennessee was going to blow at Arkansas.
They had them blown out twice. They just couldn't do it. They just couldn't finish.
I know. I mean, how do you? That defense is so bad. I don't.
Our defense or their defense?
Arkansas's defense is so bad, and
awful.
I don't. We're looking forward now, but I don't want to get back on that subject. We've discussed it to death, but still.
Matt, what happened? But since Sean brings that up, on your rewatch of the Arkansas game, in your mind, what happened to us on offense?
Well, your most productive running back in Bishop got hurt in the third quarter. Staley was the guy that had torched them in the first half. He kind of got banged up and didn't play much in the second half. So you were down some guys. You're rotating, two different offensive linemen up front, and had the pre-snap stuff. You kind of just beat yourself with some of those things. So that's the weird thing. Really, the last two games, like I feel like the offense plays well, like overall, like as a whole. But then you look at it and you're like, well, they actually didn't score as many points as they should have. But it's hard to pinpoint exactly where they're struggling at because they wind up scoring, 34 and 41. But it's hard to pinpoint where they could have had more at. But they got a little conservative. But again, you're playing to win the game, and you went up by 3 scores. And Arkansas only had 2 possessions the rest of the game.
Yep.
And, I talked about it on the thing on the blog. When Arkansas played at Ole Miss and Memphis, two teams that, from perspective, have better playoff odds than Tennessee, Arkansas had the ball in plus territory with the chance to win both of those games. They never had that chance on Saturday in Neyland Stadium.
Very good. Very well put. Let's go to the phones.
You're right.
Because somebody said yesterday the Vols held on at the end, and no, they didn't. They actually had the ball in their hands with the lead. Somebody said yesterday they put the ball back in the hands of their defense. That was the way it was phrased, to which I said, no, they didn't. Putting the ball back in the hands of your defense, to me, connotes that you've got a lead and they can beat you with a score or tie you with a score, whatever. They never had the ball. So it was well played by the head coach, well done by the offensive coordinator. And I'm going to ask you this, Matt, then we're going to go to the phones. You said on the post game, it's almost like either they don't trust the defense or they don't trust the quarterback enough to let the string out. Which one is it, Matt, now that you're rewatched?
Well, they definitely don't trust the defense at all. I just don't think Heupel is fully comfortable letting Aguilar just go like he did Hendon Hooker. I just don't think that trust is fully there yet. And in a lot of ways, I'm not sure it was there with Hendon Hooker the first half of 2021 either. So, but the defense is obviously the biggest issue, and they get the timely turnovers and how sustainable is that? I don't think it's much. I mean, Alabama's got 2 turnovers all season, so that's going to be put to the test this week.
Jeez.
But Matt, one thing I wonder about, you bring up Hendon Hooker. Let's go back to when Hendon Hooker started. It seemed like Heupel was less cautious back then. If you go back to the 2021 season, Tennessee averaged almost 40 points a game, just shy of that, and in a 7-win season. But Tennessee was coming off the Jeremy Pruitt era in a 3-7 2020 season. So Josh Heupel had nothing to lose. He could just wing it and turn that quarterback loose and turn the other. Okay, you lost. Yeah, but you're fun to watch. You're winning games. You're so much better than you were before. And that kind of carried over into 22, again, because you have all the momentum and all this is new ground. But now Tennessee is coming off a playoff season. It has a lot to lose. And I think he plays a little more cautiously now in terms of as a play caller. I think he does.
No, I definitely think he does. And, that I guess that would kind of bore out last year where they just were a defensive and first and run heavy team. And you won a bunch of games doing that. So maybe he gets a little too conservative. But you have a quarterback that is kind of a little turnover prone. You've got an offense that, for whatever reason, when they have some big plays, they commit a false start or have a penalty
Very
that sets
strange.
themselves back.
That's
so
my
you're kind
concern.
of trying to take that stuff out of the equation.
Yep.
Some, but no, I mean it's worth discussing because the game management, the time stuff is one thing, but just the offense. You're trying to win games, and you kind of said it best there, John. That 21 team, it was a lot of fun to watch and great. But that team only won 7 games. They went 7-6.
It was such an enjoyable season when you think about it for Tennessee fans, because they went from a 2020 team that was 3-7.
Oh, they were dead to the world.
And it's bad enough going 3-7, but when you can't, your offense is just drab. When it can't, it's not exciting.
Yep.
It was a worst case scenario. Bad record. Not entertaining. And then you go to 21, and man, that team was fun to watch. It lost games, but it lost high-scoring games, and it was still moving the ball. It offered hope. It offers hope when you can score quickly, and it could do that.
Back to the phones we go. TLD Logistics phone lines here. I've got like an hour to play because I got to get to a meeting. We're setting up our Oklahoma Valapalooza this afternoon. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, what's going on, Tone? Who's Vol Ryan?
You're on the top of the college football world, looking down on creation, brother. Both your teams.
It is. And to John's point, One coach prior for both teams. And I think this is good for all our fans for perspective. We couldn't have imagined this, one coach before Josh Heupel, we would not be thinking about as we enter the third Saturday in October, winning. If we win, this would be 3 out of 5 against the Tide. That would have been just unfathomable. And then, of course, Indiana is beyond unfathomable what is happening. But I didn't want to sully third Saturday week too much with IU talk, but you really got to with what they did Saturday.
Well, no, I think from a Tennessee perspective, you take that win and you annex it and you say, hey, 'tis the season. If Indiana can do that, why not us? Why not this week? And I think everybody in college football looks at Indiana, and that's what this guy's going to get a lot of coaches fired, John, is what he's going to do.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
Because people are looking at Cignetti and they're saying, look how easy, and he did it with 3-star players. He hasn't done it with expensive players.
Oh, I know. And you look, right, I do a for the USA Today Network, I do this Big Ten SEC Top 25 poll.
Cool.
Rankings each week. And I published that on Monday. And I had Indiana number 1.
Out of curiosity, where'd you have them 3 weeks ago? Out of curiosity.
Gosh.
Were they in your top 10? 3 weeks ago.
No. But Indiana, to me, has 2 of the most remarkable games of the season. It won.
Beating a ranked team by, I don't care how overrated, by 50 is a statistical anomaly.
You could say Illinois is overrated, but it did beat Southern Cal, which has a lot of talent.
That's right.
And Indiana beat it by 53
Smashed
points.
them into the ground
It's hard to beat anyone by 53 that's a
correct.
legitimate D1 team.
With a senior quarterback.
Yeah.
With a guy
You just run out of possession,
well,
if anything.
Ohio State couldn't beat it by 53.
No.
It won by 18. And so then you come back, you combine those two. If Ohio State and Indiana were playing this week, I'd probably think
Mark and Columba. Mark and Columba, you listening?
Hey, Matt, did you have a chance to watch
watch Nico. You know what? I only watched. I'll record several games, and I only had time to watch one of them, and I watched UCLA and Michigan State. I'm just so captivated by the flip flop of what's happened with UCLA. I was convinced it was the worst Power 4 team in the country. There's no doubt about it. After 4 weeks,
approach, man, they needed a fresh coat of paint,
and now you're right. That's probably the game that Indiana would most likely lose.
That Penn State
I'm telling you, I thought that for a few weeks. I said if they happen to get around Oregon with Penn State collapsing, and I thought they'd beat Penn State after I watched the Ducks do it and watched that Illinois game. I said, we're getting them. The question is, do you screw up in that the combined 17 basketball national championship football game there, UCLA versus Indiana? Guys, where would you rank Cignetti's first year and a half? What would be more impressive? I think it'd be close. If Indiana went to the Final Four equivalent in football, meaning they not just made the playoffs, won a game or two, or Clark Lee getting to the playoffs in the same year, who would you give the nod to? Because one could argue it's still Indiana because historically we're worse than Vanderbilt, but the parity is so different in the SEC. It'd be an interesting question.
What do you think, John? What would be more?
It would be Vanderbilt. I know it's tremendous when Indiana's come, and when you think about it, it is a basketball school. It would be like Kentucky in football to me, getting to the championship game.
Yeah.
But Vanderbilt has just been one of the worst programs in the history of college football. I mean, I can remember Indiana playing in a Rose Bowl.
So can I.
I didn't forget. I mean, I didn't.
Yeah, young O.J. Simpson on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can remember that. So it's not impossible. But Vanderbilt, could you imagine? You never saw Vanderbilt in the Sugar Bowl.
And Indiana had moments like when Bill Mallory was there in the 80s. They were pretty good for a time. This Vanderbilt deal, I mean, this Vanderbilt thing. This Vanderbilt thing.
Same year.
This Vanderbilt thing, if that doesn't show you how upside down college football is, just the fact that they're favored over LSU, that makes zero sense.
And what I would like to know is the financial investment. How much did LSU pay in NIL money to this roster?
Yeah.
And how much did Vanderbilt pay?
And I'll tell you something, too. This Signetti guy, he's doing it with 3-star play. Look at the roster. Now, I know that quarterback's a nice player they got from Cal, but here's the thing about this guy, Matt, that you got to give him. He knows what he's looking for in football players, and he knows quarterbacks. He obviously knows quarterbacks, and I won a lot of money with him when he was at James Madison, because at that level, they used to flat out hammer people. He was ruthless.
Absolutely
That's exactly
ruthless.
right. He was a cover machine, man. He would just
He's
hammer
ruthless
people.
at Indiana.
He
beat Purdue by like 100 points.
Well, Ryan,
I mean, my goodness.
Here's one thing I wonder.
Yeah.
Because Indiana is this super Cinderella right now.
Yeah.
It went to the playoff last year. Okay. Now it's almost on the top of the world of college football.
Makes no sense.
Will they will they lose that edge? Because now they've really got something to lose.
Kind of like Heupel. Do you coach differently?
Do you
become a different guy?
Yeah.
Do you get your raise? Like Heupel got his salary doubled, and all of a sudden we don't play like we once did. And I don't know whether that's because, like Matt was saying, I don't trust my personnel, or all of a sudden I've got something to lose. Like I'm at the top of this thing, and I have a playoff team, and this is for real, and this, that, and the other. And it's fun to think about.
I think back of great programs and great coaches.
Yeah.
I remember Bobby Bowden at Florida State.
Yeah.
He always maintained that edge because he had nothing to lose when he started out. I mean, they were nobody.
They were terrible.
Yeah, they were a terrible program. And he played all these tough teams, and they got beat by hellacious margins. But he never lost that aggressive attack mentality as a coach. Steve Spurrier didn't either when he was at Florida.
It was unreal.
He kept attacking, even when he had something to lose. And I think it's hard to do that.
Hey, Hujjavar, Ryan, are both of us getting there? Are we both getting there this year? What do you think? Because I think you guys are going to get there, which I can't believe.
Well, I'm going to tease John Adams. I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to tease John Adams with a riddle. John, Michigan State, LSU, and Alabama. They have two things in common. Now, one of them involves a certain diminutive great coach on College game day. You know what that is, right? That they all were coached by Nick Saban. What else do those three teams have in common?
Okay, you mentioned Michigan State, Alabama,
and LSU. They were all formerly coached by Nick Saban. And what else do they have in common? To answer Tone's question. They're catching L's this Saturday.
God, can you imagine that?
They're what?
All losing.
The Hoosiers going to beat Michigan State, Vandy's going to beat LSU, and Tennessee's going to beat Alabama. And Nick Saban's going to cry.
Most upside down year in the history of college football. Thank you, Ryan.
Boy, what happened to Michigan State?
Money. Matt, how upside down is this thing right now? All the things we believed about college football, all the brands, all that stuff. It's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, it's just a level of parity we've never seen before. And some teams have adjusted a whole lot better than others.
Yeah.
There wasn't really a right or wrong way to do it initially, but some have, some were on the forefront of NIL, like Tennessee.
Yes.
Others, kind of weren't. Some attacked the portal, some didn't. And, it's a case by case basis. But, Florida State's probably the best example where they loaded up in the portal.
Yep.
And were going to make the playoffs until their quarterback got hurt. And then they loaded up the next year and went 2-10.
And then they loaded up the next year and were pretty good. And then they loaded up the next year and suck. No, this is 2 years in a row now. Were they pretty good last year? Help me out, guys.
Who?
Florida State.
They went
they
2-10
bottomed
last
out.
year.
No,
they bottomed out twice in a row.
Florida
He's right.
State is a classic topsy-turvy example because it's getting ready to – that team looked like it could win the national championship.
This year.
2 years ago. Go back 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
When what's
quarterback
his name?
got hurt.
Travis Jordan or
Yeah,
Jordan Travis.
Jordan Travis.
Jordan Travis. He gets hurt. They're 11-0. And then looking back on that team should have been in the playoffs.
Sure, should have let him in.
They should have let him in. But anyway, so they go from that where you think that team can win the national title. Then they go to a team. Everybody leaves. They win 2 games, and then they go out and beat Alabama by 14 points in the season opener.
If the NFL had a selection committee, the Redskins with Doug Williams would have never won because they would have told them, you're not allowed, your quarterback's hurt. The Eagles with Nick Foles would have never won when Carson Wentz got hurt. They just said, your quarterback's hurt. You can't do that. That is totally unjust to leave a team home because a quarterback got hurt. Who are you? Who are you to say that the guy, you're not God? You don't know what could happen in that game. Everybody says, well, they got blown out in the bowl game. Well, they had like a million people defect. I mean, there was like, I was out there playing linebacker for them. Okay. So we'll go back to the phones. All right, Matt and John, before you do, rank the job openings. You got Florida open. You got Auburn open at the end of the year. You got Penn State open at the end of the year. You got Florida State open at the end of the year right now that we know about. Matt, how do you rank them?
Probably Florida 1 with Penn State 2, but you could easily flip those. I think that those would be the top 2, and then I'd put Florida State and then Auburn.
John, how do you rank them?
See, I would rank them quite differently. I would rank Florida State number 1, Penn State number 2. That's a tough one. You know what? I might take Auburn number 3. I think Florida's a very overrated job.
Give me your rankings again, John. That's crazy. FSU, go ahead.
FSU 1, Penn State 2, Auburn 3, and Florida 4. I think Auburn has a lot of NIL money. And I don't think Alabama will be what it obviously won't be what it was when it had a dynasty under Saban or Bear Bryant. So there's a chance for Auburn, a better chance for Auburn to be good. It's a money game now. Florida State, to me, the reason I like that job so much, it's the easiest path to the playoffs. Clemson isn't what it was when it was at its pinnacle and won those 2 national titles under Dabo. Miami's good. You got to beat Miami now in the ACC. It's a money ball game. But I think Florida State has the resources, the tradition, and recruiting base. Florida, I just don't like that job that much. I just think when you look at Florida's history, it won with Urban Meyer and Steve Spurrier, 2 of the greatest coaches in the game.
Weird job is Florida. Matt, you put Florida up there. Why? And then we go back to our phones.
It's an SEC job with a great recruiting base.
It's no question. That's the truth.
You should, the thing about all 4 of the jobs, they all 4 have, playoff aspirations and national championship, pedigree. So like you can win it. I think the goals are the same at all 4 of them. It's just some of them have an easier path than others, and obviously the 2 SEC ones are the most difficult, but probably have the most upside.
When is the last time 4 jobs opened that all have national championship aspirations like that? And at Auburn,
See, Auburn's a kind of a hidden gem because you won 2 of them in the last 15 years there.
And
Everybody kind of forgets that. Florida did
almost
it.
won another.
And almost won another. That's it.
And so,
but Auburn's either really bad or really great.
Nobody
really
does
bad
it.
Or
nobody has ever done better at capitalizing on its opportunity. And that's why I always thought that 2004 Auburn team really got screwed in that it didn't get a chance. It was unbeaten.
Yep.
And didn't get a chance to play Southern Cal for the national title. It could have beaten Southern Cal.
The Cadillac
it
Williams
was
team,
clearly
right?
better than Oklahoma.
Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. It's just a wild.
That's not the only 4 jobs that are going to open.
I know.
1 or 2 more dominoes.
I think
Arkansas is open.
If LSU loses this weekend, that job's going to open, John, because they're going to fire him. He loses this weekend, his Yankee ass, he going to lose his accent.
Would Penn State take him?
Hell no. Hello and welcome in.
You don't
Let's
think
get
so?
No, I don't think so. Hello and welcome in. Let's get our next call in.
How you doing, Tony?
There he is. Hey, Billy.
Hey, John.
Hey, how's it going, Bill?
Going pretty good. How you doing, Matt?
Doing great.
Terrific. Also, the Tennessee Titans job is open.
Yeah, I don't know how much anybody cares about that, though, Bill. I know you do.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, well,
yesterday I was reading a lot of the list of candidates to replace Callahan, and one of them was John Gruden. I said, if they hired him, I'd probably faint and die of a cardiac arrest. The guy is a fraud.
He won a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl, Bill.
Huh?
He won a Super Bowl.
So what?
Well, how many Super Bowls have the Titans won?
They came close. They came very close to beating the Rams.
Well, close, Bill. What does close get you? I was there when he got stopped on the 1.5 yard line.
All right,
Yeah,
Matt, let's
but
rank.
John,
Matt, let's rank the
John,
jobs.
At least they played in the Super Bowl.
Hey,
They
Matt,
may have
rank,
not have won
hey,
it,
Matt,
but at
oh,
least
pardon
they
me. Hey,
played
Matt,
in
rank
it.
the jobs for me. Florida, Penn State, Auburn. Florida, Penn State, Auburn, FSU, and the Titans. Matt, rank the jobs for me. Hey, Bill, here's the thing about the Nashville football team. You care. Goldbrick Joe cares. There might be 3 other people listening to us that care. And maybe 2 of you will tune it in on a Sunday.
Wait, here's the thing. I was watching that Buffalo Atlanta game.
Yeah.
And there's a comparison. Titans in Nashville to Knoxville, 2.5 hours away.
Yeah.
And Tennessee football. Georgia in Athens, 60 miles from Atlanta and the Falcons. The Bills went in there, were taking over the stadium of the Falcons. Do you think anybody'd ever take over Georgia's stadium?
That'd be a negative. But in Nashville, when they build their brand new stadium, you know who they're building that for?
Who?
All the tourists. They'll come in there and take that stadium over every week. And Bill knows that's the truth.
Well,
so
Bill, come on.
No offense to you.
Bill,
I mean, we're not ripping your Titans. I'm dealing in facts here, brah.
I think it's
faxes.
I think it's commendable that Bill, who was your favorite NFL team before the Houston Oilers moved into Nashville? Whom did you pull for?
It was the Cincinnati Bengals. Then at one time I was a Dallas Cowboy fan.
There you go.
But what blew me over, when the Tennessee Titans,
the Toilers,
beat the Buffalo Bills. That miracle in the Music
City Miracle.
Yes.
That won you over,
and that's what influenced me to be a Titans fan.
But I don't see how most people, the team they pull for as a kid, they don't abandon that team.
Tennessee Toilers.
They might move to another town.
Tennessee Toilers #1.
Some pro team might move to their town, but they're grounded. They grew up with this team, and they don't desert them.
I don't know why, John. they didn't have the have the oil derrick and done what we did with the smoky gray thing and rewrite history, Matt, and we have oil in our state, and just set up like a fake oil well, and you have the press there, and you bring the thing down.
Why couldn't you just what if you just kept
my
the
boy
name?
Scott Smith?
What if you kept the name and just
Geological Surveying?
I think it would have offered hope to everybody in the state to be the Tennessee Oilers. Hey, maybe we'll strike it rich one day.
Black gold Tennessee tea. But no, Bill, we got to settle for the Toilers instead.
And you can be black and gold. That could be your colors.
You know, you really love torpedoing me.
Bill,
Why?
if I make your wish come true, okay, and I rub my little Aladdin's lamp over here, who would your head coach be of the Toilers?
First of all, they're not the Toilers; they're the Titans. And if I had to maybe pick, it would probably be Mike McCarthy. Like I told you when I had my nice little private fireside chat with you yesterday.
Adam sounds like he's laughing at your choice. Are you laughing with him or at that choice, John?
What do you think?
No, I'm asking you. Are you laughing with the choice or at the choice?
Why
are you laughing at Mike McCarthy,
John? Yeah, John. Why are you laughing at me?
Well,
I think it would be a good hire. I don't care what you think.
Well, I'm glad. I'm impressed with you. Stand by what your beliefs are. Unlike how the way you abandon your favorite teams of your youth, stand by your beliefs.
Look, I used to be a front runner, not anymore.
Obviously.
I'm always going to be loyal to my team, win or lose.
You're the one.
Of course, I didn't watch the game last Sunday because I was at an anniversary party. My sister and brother-in-law had celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary.
Wow. I think I'd rather hang out
was in Lenore
with your family
City.
than watch the Toilers.
Well,
hey, Bill,
but
love you like a brother. Good talking to you.
But
good talking to you.
See ya.
But you know what, Titans Bill, if he's listening, I wish it is so much more fun being a front runner.
Oh, are you kidding? Watching the Toilers week in and week out?
Yes, Severe on the TLD Logistics Hotline. Online at tldlogistics.com.
Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice cold refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted Grade A Grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morse here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team started at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we are the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our trials last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw Premium Vodka. Please drink responsibly.
Playbook with William Pattison on the way next. In a brief, in the meantime, let's go back to our phones and get our next call in on your TLD Logistics hotline. Titans Bill just declared himself a front runner and told us that he followed the Cincinnati Bengals for a while. Kudos to him, as Philip Fulmer once said. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony B, how you doing? This is Rod in Clarksville.
Hey, Rod in Clarksville. Welcome in, my man.
Hey, Tony, it's hard to go behind Titans Bill.
No question.
I mean, he's just too funny.
No question, my man.
I remember during the Miracle game, I was standing on the sideline. I was security for the Titans, and I was standing on the sideline beside Sterling Marlin, and Martina McBride. They were side by side.
Oh,
with
wow.
me. And I've never brought this up because, this was back when the Titans were winning.
Yep.
So I don't even talk about them anymore.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm a big Martina McBride fan, man. She can really sing.
Do the stars still turn out for the Titans? Do you get a Marlon McBride and a Sterling Marlin there now?
No, sir. He's not there anymore.
Oh.
I mean, they still live in the city, but they don't really go to the games anymore.
Yeah, I think the new car shine wore off of
and
Titans a long time ago,
And like
Rod.
Tony said, when they build this brand new stadium, all the folks from, Memphis are going to start coming down here, and that's what's going to be their little hangout.
Well, you know what?
But
Hey,
anyway.
hey, Rod, their slogan's going to be next year or 2 years when they build that stadium, 2028, Titan football, we ass. With that quarterback that said that to the media. That's what their rookie quarterback, they asked him, evaluate the team so far, and he said, we ass.
It's so sad for Cam Ward. I mean, he can be such a great player with some players around him, but we'll see if they finally do that. I don't know.
Amen, brother. I wouldn't bet on it.
Well, Tony, I wanted to ask you, we was talking about and I want to ask John specifically. You said several times, Tony, not every shiny penny on the ground is not worth picking up. And here we are. We picked up Nico, and the following year we had your boy Ty Simpson in West Tennessee waiting. He wanted to be involved. Now, hindsight 2020. I want to ask John: has he ever seen or remembered a hometown boy quarterback facing his former state have a bad day? Because that's what it's going to have to take for us to win this game.
Great question.
Boy, that would be hard to come up with all the games and players I've seen through the years. I'm just trying to think.
Hey, Matt, does anything jump out to you? Hometown boy facing his former state having a bad game, Matt. Anybody?
You can't say Steve Spurrier's a hometown boy, but he's a home state boy.
Yeah, same thing.
He coached he didn't have too many bad coaching days against Tennessee. I'm trying to think, what about,
Anybody? I'm drawing a blank on that. If you shoot me an email.
Any college quarterback.
Any. Commentfan@gmail.com. I'm sure it's happened. One of my hopes.
Nathan Peterman made his first start in the swamp, and it was the worst quarterback first half we've ever seen. But you can't compare him to Ty Simpson.
When Nathan Peterman threw the bouquet, though, Matt, when he got turned around and threw the bouquet, it was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Well, there have been a couple bouquet throwings in our history.
Talk to me, John.
Go ahead, John. You got somebody?
Yeah, no, I'm just really, that's a really good question. But usually it's kind of like these guys have something to prove.
Yep.
And we see it, you know what? We see it all the time in coaching, particularly in the SEC. We see a Kirby Smart who couldn't beat Tennessee when he played in Georgia. And he lost to Peyton Manning every time out. Now he's a coach. He just doesn't lose. He's lost one game and then won 7 straight against Tennessee. You see it you saw it with Steve Spurrier. He always wanted to beat Georgia as a coach because I don't know that he beat him all the time as a player. So that sticks with players, and I think that's a really good question because I think Ty Simpson. I don't remember Ty Simpson. Did he really want to be involved?
No, I don't think so.
I don't remember.
No,
that.
I think Tennessee went after him.
He was Pruitt was going to give his dad a job on the staff.
Exactly. He was going to be a ball, guys.
See, I don't
and
remember
we
that
had to pick up a shiny penny.
Well, you got your penny.
I don't remember the backstory.
What? No, wait a minute. I think.
But he
Ty
grew up
Simpson,
in Martin, Tennessee. His father's
know.
UT Martin's coach. I'm just telling the living listener.
Yeah, but didn't Ty Simpson come along before Nico did?
Yes.
He was always in the back burner. He was always sitting right there. And we went after the shiny object. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all.
Because they had another year. They had They had basically Nico in the pipeline.
He was a year behind Nico.
Because they got on Nico quickly. That. I think Rod's remembering that properly.
Okay, well.
But I also think that Josh Heupel had something against the father because he poured it on him, and I think part of that was
he ran a trick play at the end of the first half.
The father didn't take Heupel seriously as a guy to develop his son, I believe is the story.
But see,
I don't put words in anybody's mouth, Rod. I think you're misremembering that.
But Rod brings up another good point is when you look at Ty Simpson, he was a 5-star, but he was a different kind of 5-star, 4 or 5-star. He didn't have the super arm.
No, he
wasn't knocking down buildings.
No.
But see, he's what I want in a quarterback in college football now. This guy that can process information really fast, sees the field well, gets rid of the ball fast and throws accurately. That, to me, is what Tennessee should always go for.
Because, Rod, Heupel wanted Simpson because that's why Heupel put it on his father when they played. And that's how Heupel is. Heupel is one thing about him that I like. He's very vindictive.
I think the best coaches are.
You got to have a vindictive streak in you, yes. I wonder what Heupel would do if he ever got his hands on one of these officials that won't give him a break.
Oh, boy.
I hope they don't walk in front of him out in that parking lot where they all park.
2 more quick points, Tony.
Yeah.
The last 2 years, how we talked about the last time we played Alabama at home, we went down there and we jumped on them quickly, and then we didn't have nothing else after halftime.
Yes.
I'm very, very proud of this last game we played to see us come out of halftime and score 24 straight points. I'm very proud of that because that may be something that we can lean on, this game coming up. I hope to God that that's what happens.
Rod in Clarksville, you're my man. Much love to him. I echo those sentiments entirely.